Alright, I'm Dab88 and I'm just going to annotate some of this just cause for Race to Mr. Snowman Speedrun. So to begin with, this is quite a short run. It's like under 10 minutes. And the first thing you've got is a traversal towards this console, and you've got to go through certain checkpoints. You'll see that I'm reeling in really fast there. There's about 2 or 3 rails that you can do to get to that sort of parachute takeoff, and then diving towards this train here, because, well, you can't use any of the helicopters, but you can use the helicopters. They won't let you enter them, but you can use this jet. Now, it doesn't always work because sometimes it falls off the train, but when it does work, it works really well because you can get up this route really quickly. I had previously worked at a really complicated grapple route that was pretty fast, but this just absolutely annihilates it. Knocks off about 20 seconds or something. The next area here, the next section here is really boring. There's nothing you can do to speed it up, or at least nothing that we know of that you can speed it up. If anybody was to ever glitch one of these bars, I think it would be very useful because it might be able to be applied to other sections of the speedrun. And although this Race to Mr. Snowman might seem not very particularly interesting, it does reveal certain things that can be used in like any regular kind of Just Cause 4 speedrun. I would highly recommend using that jet to get up. 20 seconds might not seem a lot when you're talking about hours, but every section can be optimized, and whatever you can use is useful. And because it's so early on, it seems like a really good opportunity to optimize that, make it as fast as you possibly can, you know. So we're a couple of minutes into this speedrun. Again, really boring area, or really boring section. There's another boring section coming up pretty much right after this. There's not an awful lot we can do to speed these bits up. But it's really a case of you can't make a lot of time, but oh my god, can you lose it. You can lose time just about everywhere. So it's, yeah, a speed run or a don't go slow run. I'm not really sure how you describe it. And speaking of not going slow, that's exactly what we're going to try and avoid here. We're going to go in as straight a line as possible, jumping over any obstacles. There is a little bit, some sort of like object there that stops you if you don't jump, so like you've got to jump over that. I'm not sure as to whether dropping down or jumping is actually faster than just running. It tends to feel faster, so that's why I do it, but I've not actually measured it. One thing I have measured, or one thing that is distinct, is the different running animations that Rico has. You can see how he's got like a slow jog and a bit of a faster jog. Depending upon how much his arms move, you can really sort of detect it. Now, he will jog fast after a vault. So that's really important, because what you'll see here is a couple of instances where we're gonna almost sort of jump short in order to land on the edge, vault up, and then that's going to allow us to sprint away. And that animation doesn't happen otherwise, so we'd actually be running a lot slower. You'll see that he slows down round about here, and he's a lot slower than the previous sort of sprint animation. These, again, really small optimizations, but every quarter of a second, every half a second counts when we're talking about a 10-minute run, or in this case 8 minutes 32. There's definitely a couple of seconds to be made up by shaving bits off here and there. You'll notice how I didn't actually do the jump on screen. When it goes black after you skip the cutscene, you can jump almost immediately, and then you can wingsuit even though the screen's still black. So again, another optimization that saves maybe a second and a half. This wingsuit towards the sort of first main kind of base mission, again, that needs to be optimized. I missed at least one grapple, which won't have had a huge effect. Maybe only talking about a quarter of a second, half a second there. But again, it all counts. This area, this section is the one I'm worst at because I'm using a controller, so it's actually a lot harder to go fast here than I think it would be with a keyboard and mouse. It's pretty good, but it could be done better, and you could definitely save a little bit of time. And again, it only just takes little fractions. Here, that hesitation, that half a second hesitation before getting that grapple is enough to like add up on top of the other things to make up a couple of seconds and make a sub 8:30 possible, which I don't think I'm going to try for right now, mainly because a lot of it's RNG based. See this helicopter here? Holy moly, this helicopter actually spawned in the previous mission, and usually it crashes or it just destroys itself. It's so dumb, the AI is so dumb, and I didn't get into it in time before the flak cannon blew up. But this spawns out of nowhere, and I'm so lucky because it doesn't get hit by that missile, and I get an opportunity to get an early helicopter and fly straight to Mr. Snowman. Now this is the next boring section where you can't really make time, but you can lose it. I'm going to fly in a straight line. There's a little valley you can see here in between the mountains. That's pretty much directly in line with the tunnel that we're aiming for. So there's a tunnel just past Zona Tres. Is it Zona Tres? The one with the tornado. There's a little tunnel past that, and if you dive down there, you'll follow the tunnel and find Mr. Snowman. Okay, so this boring flight, there's nothing you can really do to sort of speed it up. If it was in the other helicopter, I could strafe and it would go a little bit faster, but it's hard to control. The other thing you can maybe do here is sometimes there is a train that spawns. You could steal one of the planes off the train. I don't think it's optimal because it takes time to take off, turn around, because unfortunately it's going the wrong way, and then fly towards Mr. Snowman. You do make up time on that flight, but not a lot. So like I've done it a few times and I've never been able to beat just a straight off attack helicopter going straight towards the location. Now there's a couple of ways that the tornado can actually spawn. It can spawn going this direction, sort of left, or going sort of further away from us. And to be honest, like, it doesn't really matter coming from this angle, as long as you don't get too close, as long as you don't go too far left, you won't get caught up in it. I can't say much for actually other vehicles, because like I think the other helicopters maybe a bit more prone to getting caught because it's a little bit slower, hasn't got quite as much power. Anyway, this dive out of the helicopter is terrible, but we managed to recover, get down the tunnel fairly quickly. You can wingsuit down it, that's about the only way you can do it quicker, but it's super dangerous.
What do you want from me, Mr. Snowman?
And there we go, all done. 8:31. Yeah, there's a couple of seconds to be made up. A sub 8:30 is possible.